Hey guys, welcome back to my Animal Adventures YouTube channel. And if you've been watching my channel from the beginning, you know I've been posting daily videos for about 9 months now. In fact, this is my 289th video, and let me tell you, that's a lot of videos. And along the way, I've been posting quite a few videos on how to make money with different animals. And my most recent video was how to make money with ball pythons. And let me tell you, you can make an incredible amount of money breeding and selling the ball python hatchlings. And I've also had videos how to make money with beef cattle, which is my #1 video. It keeps outperforming all my other videos. And I've also had videos how to make money with ducks, how to make money with rats, and how to make money with a whole variety of different animals. And in fact, it seems like every time I put out a video how to make money with a certain type of animal, I get a lot of negative comments about how it's not right to breed animals to make a profit. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the ethics and some of the concerns and some of the advantages, I think, about breeding animals for a profit. So if you're thinking about breeding animals for a profit, I would say really it's a balancing act between actually making money and trying to provide the best care for the animals. And I think especially on a large scale, if you were to really look at the bottom line, you'd almost be tempted to sacrifice the welfare of the animal to make another buck or two. And that's definitely not what I want to do. As a matter of fact, if you look at my rat breeding operation here, I breed some rodents for my snakes. I have quite a few tubs for rodents. And what I do is actually, I keep my tubs pretty thinned out. I don't keep a whole lot of rodents in my tub. I have 5 rats in this tub, and I keep them really thin. So from a pure business perspective, if you were thinking of how to increase your productivity, how to make more money, you could actually put more rodents in a tub. I could double the amount of rodents, which would double my productivity. But the problem is I would be sacrificing the welfare of the animal, and that's definitely not what I want to do. This guy, hopefully he won't get out. And so that's the thing you really have to take in consideration is the welfare of the animal comes first. And I use a really high quality rodent diet. I use Missouri 6F. And to save a buck or two, I could actually cut my costs in half if I was to go to something cheaper, like a dog food or something like that. And I definitely don't want to sacrifice the quality of the food for my rodents just to make a little bit of extra money. And I think that's where it really gets a bad name if you're thinking about someone who's trying to make money off of animals. The first thing that comes to mind is, oh yeah, they want to make a buck, so they're sacrificing the welfare of the animal. So I live up here in the mountains of Colorado, and up here in the mountains, this is horse country. And pretty much all the houses up here in my neighborhood, everyone has at least 1 or 2 horses. And let me tell you, it's difficult to make money with a horse. And a horse can be really expensive because they need a lot of really special hay. It has to be really high quality hay. And then shoeing the horse and all the care and the maintenance and the tack and the saddles. I mean, it can be enjoyable having a horse, but let me tell you, as far as your bank account, it can be quite the burden if you can't figure out how to make money with that horse. And it's kind of the same way with my dogs. I have several really big dogs, and let me tell you, those dogs, they'll eat you out of house and home. And actually, the last 2 years, I bred my dogs and I sold the puppies. And let me tell you, those puppies, the money from the puppies, I reinvested in my dogs. I got some really nice panels for my dogs for the fencing, and I also constructed a tough shed, and it has heating and air conditioning, and I put a heater and an air conditioner in the tough shed with a doggy door, and now they're living in luxury out there. And let me tell you, making money from animals, if you can use that money to reinvest to improve the welfare of the animals, I think it's definitely an advantage to make money from breeding animals. So another advantage of breeding animals for money is that it can save them from the brink of extinction. And there's been animals such as the crested gecko that have almost gone extinct, and luckily it came back into the pet trade. People started breeding it, and you start making money on some of these animals, and then other people want to invest and make a return on investment, and it's kind of a chain reaction, and pretty soon it increases the population, and the population definitely will recover. And if you think about some of the turkeys, I was actually thinking about getting into some of the wild turkeys, some of the turkeys that were, you know, here at the beginning when people came in and settled in the United States. Some of those turkeys, if you actually look up on the internet, look at just some of the common turkeys, a lot of them are critically endangered because there's not really a market in turkeys. And let me tell you, it's hard to make a profit with turkeys. They eat an incredible amount of food, and the mass production of the meat bird for the turkey has pretty much all but eliminated the backyard turkey. And it's kind of sad because a lot of these turkeys, we could actually lose them and they could actually go extinct, which would be pretty unfortunate. So when I discovered ball pythons about 5 or 6 years ago, it changed everything for me. Now I figured out how to make a lot of money from an animal, and not only does it benefit my ball pythons and the welfare of all of these snakes, but it really transfers to all my other animals. And now I'm not really thinking about the thin profit margins, trying to figure out how to make money with my dogs or my cows or all my other animals. Now I can take all my ball python money and reinvest it in all my other animals, and it really improves the welfare of my whole animal operation altogether. And I actually have a funny story about how I got into ball pythons. Someone at work actually came up to me with their cell phone, and they said, "Hey, take a look at this snake," and they showed it to me, and it was actually a snake on Morph Market that had recently sold for $45,000, and I couldn't believe it. I was just blown away. How can a snake be worth $45,000? And as a matter of fact, I actually have one of those snakes in my collection, and let me show you which snake that is. And it's definitely not worth $45,000 anymore, but this is my scaleless head ball python male that I used to get all my scaleless head stuff. And when I first got into ball pythons, these were selling for $45,000, and as soon as they would post, they would sell. It was unbelievable. And you can see on the head it has a few scales missing, and if you breed two of them together, you get a completely, totally scaleless ball python. And the first scaleless ball python, someone offered to buy it for $150,000, and that's how crazy the prices are for these ball pythons. And it's I'd say, as far as the amount of work and the food and the maintenance and the amount of the money that actually goes into breeding these animals, it's really minimal compared to the return on investment. So I have to admit, when I first got into the ball python game, I was really looking at the money and the return on investment, and I didn't really know what I was getting into when I bought my first snakes. And let me tell you, my curiosity turned into a passion, and later on into an obsession. And I think the thing that really drives the ball python industry is the different pattern and color mutations. There are over 300 base mutations, and you can mix those all together. Say, for example, if you had a ball python with 5 genes, you could breed it back to a normal and produce all those pure genes back out in the hatchlings. And I think the number of genes and the combinations and the fact that you could breed them and get them all true to their form when you breed them back out is the number one thing, as well as the prices behind the ball pythons. And some of these ball pythons, they took an incredible long time for breeders to produce. For example, this albino pied took a really long time to produce the first ones. And see if I can get this guy up. This is my albino pied male. It's a double recessive. So when they first came out, they were breeding the pied to an albino and getting the double heads, breeding the double heads back together to get the albino pieds. And some of these projects, they take like 10 or 15 years just to get the first snakes, and they're incredibly expensive when they first come out, and then as they're produced more and more, the prices come down. But it's just an incredible amount of work to produce some of these snakes. And the first ones that came out were just they just kind of blew people away. That a snake could even look like that. It's pretty amazing. So making money with ball pythons or making money with any other animal, I think you'll find it's an extremely controversial topic, and there are people on either side of the fence. Some people are really for it, and some people are really against it. And for me, it really generates the money that I need in order to keep a lot of really cool animals without breaking the bank. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.